Okay, hello to the Raw review. I said I was going to promise, and so this is it. Now, I was watching Raw today, and usually I just write down little bits here and there that I want to talk about. But you know what? I ended up writing about 3 pages of stuff. So anyway, Raw starts off with a Kane promo. You know what? I kind of feel bad for Kane because, you know, it doesn't really sound like he's trying anymore. I mean, when he first came back with his mask, he was doing these kind of epic promos, but now he just sounds like he's reading directly off a script. I mean, he seems to realize how stupid the storyline is with him, Kane, Eve, and Zack Ryder. So yeah, he did this kind of promo. Yeah, I just couldn't help but feel, man, he's really not trying anymore. Then we cut to this Elimination Chamber debate where all the contestants of the match are in the ring. They have their own little stool, whatever, desk, whatever it's called. And yeah, they debate about the Elimination Chamber. John Laurinaitis just interrupts as usual before anybody says anything, and then CM Punk just makes fun of him as usual. And so they ask the obvious questions. Why do you think you'll win the Elimination Chamber? Followed by pretty obvious answers such as, well, I'm better than everybody else, that's why I'll win, except for R-Truth, he said he'll win because of a box of spiders. Kofi Kingston talked as well, damn! I mean, I'd completely forgotten what he sounds like. This went on until Jericho started talking. Then he talked to Punk, which Punk gave him the silent treatment, which made Jericho mad. Oh yeah, Punk made fun of Jericho being on Dancing with the Stars. Jericho went up to him and then was blindsided by Kofi Kingston because he had a match with Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston kicked him in the head. Again, you know, not the most exciting way to start off a Raw. Yeah, so overall this debate segment was kind of pointless. It was a little bit boring. And it didn't really do anything for the actual Elimination Chamber match. You know, this segment is what I like to refer to as filler. Anyway, the first match of the night was Kofi Kingston versus Chris Jericho, and Kofi Kingston had control at the beginning of the match because he blindsided Jericho before the match actually started. Jericho took back control with the powerbomb from the corner, and then it was pretty much back and forth between the two for the rest of the match until Jericho cheated and he won. It was a decentish match for an opening match. Afterwards there's a little segment backstage with John Cena and Zack Ryder. Now this really doesn't serve any purpose other than to establish the fact that Zack Ryder is actually there and that I think he's going to propose to Eve or something. He doesn't actually say that, but it's implied, but there's no ring, there's just flowers because it's Valentine's Day. But he keeps saying she's the love of his life, so you know who really gives a shit. Cutting away to John Laurinaitis and David Otunga talking backstage. John Laurinaitis says it's great to be back, but David brings up a point saying, yeah, they brought you back, but not as the permanent GM. But David has a plan. There's also cuts to another promo where Daniel Bryan is facing Orton on SmackDown, and Daniel Bryan, you know, attacks Big Show and kind of weasels his way out of a match, and then Orton and Big Show get into a fight. And this promo is followed up by the "Who gives a shit about the facts" segment that nobody gives a shit about. Then we have Orton versus Big Show. Now honestly, this match wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, you got Orton doing that DDT on Big Show and their feet are on the ropes, but Big Show's feet weren't in the middle of the ropes. Big Show's feet were on the top ropes. Yeah, Big Show's feet were on the top ropes when Orton did that DDT. And Michael Cole usually says, "Vintage Orton," but this time he said, "Extra Vintage Orton." I don't know, there was this botch of the RKO that Randy Orton did. He did the RKO on the Big Show. Big Show fell, Orton didn't fall, he just stayed standing. I don't know why Orton didn't fall as well, but the announcers, they had this awkward pause for a moment and they carried on like there was no botch at all. It ends with Daniel Bryan hitting Orton in the back with the belt, and which makes Orton win by disqualification. Then we have Shawn Michaels in the ring. Now, it was cool to see Shawn Michaels again, but, you know, we all know why he's there. It is because of the Triple H and Taker thing. He wants Triple H to fight Taker, but Triple H doesn't want to fight Taker. Even though Triple H and Taker had a decent match last year, or a good match actually, seems like a lot of people don't want to see it again, which is fair enough. But maybe there are a lot of people who do want to see it again, I don't know. Now, since Triple H has taken more of a corporate role as of late, that kind of corporate role clash with Shawn Michaels' never say no to a challenge personality, you know, the disagreement doesn't get out of hand straight away. It kind of bubbles up and up until then Triple H just starts yelling. Now that was followed up by an Undertaker promo. You know, Undertaker, he does his promo, he starts cutting his hair. Now some people think it's a return of the American Badass, you know, on the motorbike and everything, but I don't know, and honestly I'm quite interested to see what happens next. Now we have R-Truth versus Dolph Ziggler. Now Dolph Ziggler kind of just showed off in this match, which gave R-Truth an opportunity to pin him and win. So yeah, this match wasn't that great, there's not much to it, since I'm not really a big Dolph Ziggler fan. But that's basically all I remember, so yeah, moving on. We had this lame-ass segment with Santino and Zack Ryder backstage. It's not even worth talking about. We have Tamina versus one of the Bella Twins, and you know, it's pretty much a basic, typical Diva match. It's over within 5 minutes, if that. And yeah, not much to say about that other than Tamina wins. Let's move on. We see a promo of The Rock which shows his movie, Journey of the Lost Island or something. This red carpet debut in Mexico, premiere. That's followed by John Cena, who was about to be interviewed by Todd Grisham, I think. Until Eve screams. Surprise. I'm just gonna read out what I wrote down here about this segment, because it was really bad. It just sucked bad. We hear Eve scream before Cena says anything, and Kane is locking her in an ambulance. I think they cut to Eve too early because she's walking in the ambulance all by herself. Kane closes the door, Cena attacks Kane. Cena tries to open the door and Kane attacks Cena. Kane drives off, but not before Eve opens the door and escapes, and Kane drives away without Eve, making him look like a complete dumbass. Eve makes out with Cena for some reason, and Zack is there and happens to see it. He's pretty quiet considering he's usually pretty loud, so you thought he'd be yelling when he got there, but I don't know, he got there really quietly, but Eve was in trouble, so I don't know why he was quiet, but this time he was quiet, but he's usually a loud person, but yeah, who cares, whatever. Zack is wheelchairing away, and Eve tries to explain herself, blah blah blah, this shit is lame. Yeah, that was pretty much that segment. We got CM Punk facing The Miz. This match was sorta average. I mean, Punk won by submission. It wasn't the best match of the night considering it's the main event. But you know what? It wasn't the main segment. Last segment. Cena comes to the ring and he tries to talk on the mic to apologize to Zack. Now because he made out with Eve, everyone is against Cena. The crowd is chanting, "We all hate you." Cena rants on longer than he really needs to. Zack slaps Cena across the face, which is pretty funny because he seems to have a lot of ability to move for somebody with a broken back. Cena pretends to punch him. Zack falls over, crutches away. While he's crutching away, Kane's talking on the Titantron. Basically, Kane said that Cena stealing his friend's girl is so horrific that is something that even Kane could not dream of doing. Did I mention I feel bad for Kane? I mean, this used to be a guy who set officials on fire with lightning from his hand. Damn. I mean, his promos used to be decent and now he sounds exactly like he's reading directly off a script, which I mentioned earlier. Kane comes out, grabs Zack in his wheelchair and just pushes him right off the stage. All, you know, 3 feet of the stage, and Zack crashes down and it's all traumatic and everything. Zack has to be, you know, stretchered away again. You know, that was pretty much Raw. It wasn't that good overall. I mean, I liked the Triple H and the Shawn Michaels segment. It had some pretty average matches, but the rest is just complete crap. Oh, and no Brodus Clay this week. I don't know why, and I don't really care because I'm really over just seeing him do the exact same thing week after week. You know, it's too bad about the Kane and Cena storyline because I was actually naive enough to think that it had potential at the beginning. Anyway, that's what I think of Raw overall. It had some decent parts, but overall it was just pretty much crap. I hope you liked this video. If you like it, then let me know if I should continue it as a weekly segment. Cool.